So we've finally made it down to Katoomba. I've checked into our room and it's actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be with some of the Google reviews that we had read out yesterday. But there was one thing that I did notice. They've actually left us some complimentary pizza and cake from the last guest by the looks of it. Yeah, so that was nice of them. So what I was just going to do briefly was go through some of the mandatory gear that I've got and things that we're going to take on the race to make sure we can get through without too many issues. So what we do have here is the vest, which is going to hold basically everything on us apart from what we will have at the aid stations with our support crew. So we are required to carry with us at all times these thermal garments, waterproof jackets, gloves, high-vis vest for when it gets dark, along with the headlamp. And there is also some mandatory gear here, which is your compression bandage, backup light, etc. And everything else is essentially what I am choosing to carry on me. So we have the trekking poles for some of those big uphill climbs. But I'm also going to carry quite a lot of carbohydrate on me. So I'll be giving some of these to the support crew, but I'll be having at least one of these on me at all time, which is about 300 grams of carbohydrate. So there's a few hours of fuel, and the rest is just going to be water and electrolytes. So hopefully this gets us through in about 16 hours or so, and we don't have any major mishaps. So hopefully everything I've just showed you there is enough to get us over the line, potentially in about 16 hours if everything goes to plan. So we will see how it goes.
So it's the night before the 100Ks, all the training's done, taper's done, carb load's done. All we got to do now is have a good night's sleep, hopefully, probably not, and eat a pretty carby breakfast and electrolytes in the morning. So what I'll quickly do now is run through some of the stuff that I got packed for the morning, and we'll see in the morning after that. So we've got heaps of these purees here. I've got some beef jerky, some noodles, heaps of, no bonk trials, no bonk. I've also got some backup gels just in case, Clif bars, shitloads of pickle juice because I can cramp. What do we got here? The backpack is packed with all the mandatory gear, and I've already got my sticks attached. I've got my gloves and headlights for the morning. It's going to be really cold in the morning, so I'm probably going to wear gloves just until I warm up, and then I may not use them again. Got shoes here, backup shoes, a bucket that's going to be at all the aid stations with a towel, chargers, sandwiches. What we got here is what I'm getting dressed in the morning, as well as some anti-chafing cream there. All the notes for the aid stations, heaps of different hats because I'm a sweaty little Betty, changes a shirt, backup undies in case I shit myself, more backup undies in case I shit myself twice.
How you feeling?
Good, a bit tired. I had my pancakes and maple syrup. These toe socks are hard to get on, but we're leaving in about 5 minutes. I'm excited to start. See you out there.
What are you looking forward to most?
A beer at the end. Danny and Moto, give us a thumbs up. Alright, we're just coming to the second aid station now. First aid station, we got there a little bit quicker than we had anticipated. But the second one was a bit slower. Fair bit of congestion trying to get down Duncan's Pass, so we're probably about 5 minutes or so behind schedule. But luckily we bought some time in that first segment there. So we just got to get up this hill, and then tents at the top there is where this aid station's at. So we're here about 6 minutes late, but that's all right. Happy with how we're traveling. Welcome to Foggy Knob. I'll show you a foggy knob.
31 Ks in. How are you feeling?
The quads, we had a downhill section, probably 2 very steep downhill sections in the past 5 or 6 days, and holy, the quads, it makes me a little bit scared of what your numbers going to do to our quads later, because, yeah, not really comparable, but the fucking quads are blowing up. How you doing?
Been about the same boat, I reckon. Trying to keep the heart rate down now.
Well, my heart rate's good, it's just my legs are starting to let me know that I'm over 30 Ks in.
Nice.
Nice pop up.
Yeah.
So at the top of this hill and just around the bend up there's the next aid station, which marks 37 kilometres, and that's going to be the first aid station that we can actually have our support crew there. We're going to be so it's 10:48 now. We're probably going to be about 10 minutes behind schedule when we get there, but all things considering, me and Danny just spoke about it, I think we're pretty happy with that. When we estimated our times, we were probably a little bit aggressive in this first section and quite conservative toward the back end of the race. So if we have to push harder later, I'd rather be feeling okay now and be 10 minutes behind schedule. What else? So yeah, we're pretty pumped to see our support crew for the first time. How you feeling, Danny?
Great. No, not too bad.
We've had a few steep downhill, so like feet and fucking quads are blowing up. But to be honest, we could have pushed harder and felt a lot worse. So I want noodles, I want coffee, I want Coca-Cola, I want more water, I want some pickle juice, all in the next 3 minutes. You can hear the bells, we can see the people. Can't wait for more no-bog too. Let's go! Where the hood at? So we're just coming into the next aid station now. We've done it pretty much on perfectly. Gave myself an hour and 10 minutes, and there it is up there. This one has no assistance. This one has nothing except just water to fill up yourself. So, and the bad news is I'm alone. I've lost Danny. I'll wait for him for a few minutes here. And if he doesn't catch up, I'll wait for him up at the next aid station where I've actually got assistance. Might try to find a portal. I think I sharded. The man, the myth, the legend. Good news is, found Danny. Bad news is, no Portaloo. The show must go on. Don't drop the phone. Do not drop the phone. Halfway point, 50 Ks in. How are we feeling? Feeling like we've done 50 Ks.
Feeling not too bad. A few rough points earlier, but no creeping yet. Not too much pain.
I've just had a preemptive pickle juice because we've got this big climb about to come. So 50 Ks in, and now we've got a rock climb up that thing. I've also had a diarrhea stop because the show must go on. All right, we are about 600 metres away from the next aid station, and believe it or not, in that segment that we just climbed a mountain, we brought back some time. We are a couple of thoroughbreds, we're a couple of mountain goats, we're a couple of young, hot, throbbing Australian males that work at the Centre of Excellence. We probably haven't brought back enough time to get us there by 2. But I think we brought back enough time to get us there. We'll only be about 5 minutes behind schedule. So that was probably a pretty good segment for us overall,
Yeah,
considering the mountain we had to climb.
How are you feeling?
That hill was pretty far, to be honest. Otherwise, feeling okay, considering I'm 56k in.
How's your food?
The food's good. The food actually at the last aid station gave me the boost I needed. So I'm hoping that the coffee does that again. And yeah, let's just see how this next 44k's goes. I've actually just been told by someone that the next 21 kilometres is just stairs, up and down stairs. So at times might blow out a little bit.
Feeling, Danny?
Good now, I've got the noodles.
Noodles? How'd you feel on that last swim bit?
Better now. I was awful for
Do I think like should we
10Ks.
No, like should I check my undies? Because I think I sharded before.
Oh man. No, I was terrible for about 10Ks. Okay, good.
Have fun!
Say g'day. Hello. Cheers. Holy stickers. We're expecting this. All right, here we are. About 500 metres to the next aid station. That was an awful segment. We thought in the first sort of 3 or 4k we'd buy back some time here on this segment, but then after that it was pretty much unrunnable, steep, up and down stairs. We've just got on the road now to make it into this next aid station, which is assisted. But we're going to be about between 15 and 20 minutes behind our schedule to try and hit the 16. So it's still doable, but it's just going to be really tough.
Thank you.
This side, guys. Food, water, real toilet.
So that was a fucked up segment. Holy stairs. Yum. Let's have a sip of coffee. 1 minute.
Nice work, boys. Go, Danny. Go, Tommy. How you feeling?
No good. I think you're 16 out of the target, out of reach. 16:30 still very much there, but yeah, them last 2 segments, the fucking stairs. There's just, I guess if you've done it before, you'd know. But we just looked at the elevation and thought some of it was runnable, but just not runnable. I'll tell you what though, we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna finish. You all take this off. At 10 p.m. and I cannot go home. But this last 22 is looking difficult between the downs and the ups. Coffee on the way out.
Go, boys.
Let's finish.
See you at the end. Yes, Tommy. Yes, Danny.
So we're a few days now post-race, and I understand the question now on everyone's mind after watching that little summary of the run is, did I shit myself? And the answer is, no, I didn't. I know it would have been really funny if I did, but when I got around to finally checking, when we were at the Aquatic Centre aid station there, it was just a lot of anti-chafe cream still between my cheeks. So it would have been funny, but thankfully for me, didn't have to change my undies. They were still clean and went straight back in the drawer.
Yeah, so a bit of a recap. I think in terms of the time it took, it went quite well. We started out with a bit of a range, our ambitious goal being closer to 16 hours or sub 16, and just making sure we stayed under that 18-hour mark. But I think to hit that 16, we would have had to do everything perfect on the day and have everything go our way. So a couple of things, some early traffic jams at Duncan's Pass sort of added 15 minutes. I had a big spill and rolled my ankle at about 96 Ks.
4.4 Ks to go, yeah.
So that slowed us down a bit. Quite a lot of fluffing around at aid stations, which probably added 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't too much, but no, I think overall it was a very good time for what we wanted and what we trained for. But yeah, minimal time could have been shaved off if everything was perfect, I think.
Yeah, I think just with more experience, if we were to do that same course again and understand, like, you know, there was 2 segments there back to back with the stairs that we probably weren't expecting. I mean, everyone says, oh, you can't train enough stairs, but I had to assume that a lot of that were the sort of the 2 really big climbs. I didn't realise there was 2 segments there between the Aquatic Centre and Fairmont, and then Fairmont into Queen Victoria Hospital had almost no runnable sections for long periods. It was just like stairs up and down, up and down, up and down. So if we did the raid, be able to do it again soon and had that experience of the course, I think we'd obviously be able to do it better there. I think for me, mentally, I actually surprised myself with and you probably saw in the video how chirpy I was pretty much throughout the whole video. I mentally sort of stayed pretty good pretty much the whole run. I think it was only in that last 10 Ks where I started really to fade mentally, where I was a bit over it and I just wanted to be done. In that last 10 Ks where it's just all uphill. Right up until Danny sort of twisted his ankle there with 4.4 Ks to go. That sort of like clicked me back into gear because I sort of had to refocus again. So once Danny did his ankle, I sort of just had to make sure that I was sort of like, Danny, rocks here, Danny, tree roots there. Like, I'm okay, now let's just get me and Danny back home type thing, because I was starting to fade, but I think once Danny did hurt his ankle, it sort of like, yeah, it sort of dialed me back in.
Had to carry me home.
All but carry you home. No, it just meant like we couldn't really run anymore, but also we didn't want to dawdle because we knew that, like, at the end of the day, although 16 hours was our ambitious goal and 18 hours was our more realistic goal, we were really keen on having our first 2 numbers being a 1 and a 6, you know what I mean, rather than being in the 17s. So that was very realistic, and I was just, as soon as Danny did his ankle, I'm like, this is still very achievable, but we can't dawdle. We just got to keep moving, even though we probably couldn't run anymore because he was in a fair bit of hurt there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
In regards to recovery, how are you feeling?
Pretty good now. Ankle's fine. A rather large blister under the big toe was probably the most annoying thing for a couple of days after it. So once I relieved that pressure, it's looking pretty good now.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Everything else is fine. Did a little 4-kilometre easy run last night just to sort of see how the legs turned over and everything felt good. So booked the accommodation for the next one, ready to go. Same again next year.
Me on the other hand, I was a little bit sore. Obviously, as expected, I was sore on Sunday, sore on Monday, and then Monday night I got fevers and all sorts and ended up with pneumonia. So I didn't get to do a run this week, and I probably won't run for another week or 2 because pretty shallow breathing, short of breath, and on antibiotics at the moment. But back at work today, because I'm a Terry Tough Nut.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. This ultra running is good for you.
Yeah.